Hey guys, I am John Carrick, author of Legacy of a Mad Scientist and The Legend of Ashley Fox. And today we're here looking at Conan the Barbarian, number 107 by Marvel Comics, The Snout in the Dark. This is Conan fighting a werepig while beautiful Diana cowers in the background. Today's World Fantasy Tarot card is the Witch, Ginger. Beautiful girl. The Three of Cups. I noticed all the cups are about water. And of course they are. And she's got her boiling kettle. And yeah, look at that again later maybe. But now, let's get on to the fun. Conan the Barbarian, 107. 40 cents back in the day. I think this was 1979. And this queen is going to torture this girl. I believe her name is Tatanya. Let me take a look at this really quick. Tananda, something like that. Tananda, Queen of the Kush. Stygian, Queen of the Kush. She is a ruling class that is not native to the area. They are in the Sudan, and she is Egyptian. And the Egyptians are ruled by the Greeks, the Ptolemies, and the Egyptians have moved down the Nile, south into Africa, and they are ruling over the Kush. This is a blonde girl, and this is Conan in Stygian helmet. And Demon of the Night on the front, it's called The Snout in the Dark. But adapted from a story by Lynn Carter and L. Sprague de Camp. Original characters by Robert E. Howard, Roy Thomas, John Buscema, Ernie Chan, and George Roussos as the colorist. So Ernie Chan is not doing colors. George Roussos, I think, been the colorist for dozens of issues already. So here we go. Conan and Tananda, the Queen of the Kush. He's also explaining to her, she's about to have one of her advisors put to death because she believed that he betrayed her. And it was actually a plot. He was innocent. And they just wanted to see her flip out against her own people to weaken her rule, so she'll have to take on a king. This is a pretty elaborate plot for a comic book. There's a lot going on here that you don't normally get in an average television show these days. That's how much fiction has been dumbed down by the Kalergi plan in action in America and across Western Europe. And we're going to have to do something about it. But anyhow, 4 panels on this page. And look at how full they are. No dead space. Everything is great. Lots of explanation. Conan is explaining to Tananda that if she murders this guy in the town square, that she's going to have an uprising way worse than the last one, and he may not be able to protect her. He's already saved her life twice, and the third time his luck might run out. She says she'll take that chance. Conan's insisting on freeing the girl. She is freaking out. She's behaving like a jealous woman. She goes to whip her. Conan catches her hand. And here she immediately plays the race card as Conan carries this girl off. He tells her, look, your enemy sent her. She doesn't know anything. Whipping her won't help. Let's see what a little kindness will do. And she says, you'd like her because she has the same fish belly skin as you. Admit it, admit it. Now, I don't know if that's in the original novel short story or if Roy Thomas added it. Regardless, this is adult themes. You don't even get this in regular television these days. Today, all you get in TV is betrayal. You never get stand-up confrontation and honesty. This is unheard of. So, Conan's carrying her out. Tananda's falling on the... this is Conan's laughing at her. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Believe that. Believe that. Here is the guy who brought Diana to Queen Tananda in the first place. He is going back to tell Tuthmes, however you say his name. I'm going to look really quick. Tuthmes. 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 I don't know how you say that. Exotic names are such a pain in the ass. It's fine to read them because you know who they're talking about. You don't have to try and pronounce it in your head. Now here we get, look at this, another 4 panels and a 1. The wealth of art we are getting in this. Think about how many panels were crammed into a Danger Girl page. He does all the same work and we get that much more art. Now, granted, looking at the Danger Girls is a lot more fun, but this is still really good. Here's Muro. He's the guy who runs the Werepig monster. And he's asking him if can he send him after the girl Diana and kill Conan. This guy's explaining everything. Muro says, yeah, I can do that. All right, well, let's do it. Let's not waste any more time. We need to take over this queen. Here she is going ahead with the execution. The executioner is about to murder this guy who's innocent. Man. Now, look, here's the thing about all this violence. They don't show it, but they certainly do come right up to the edge. You wouldn't be allowed to do this on television today. Talk about a pitch for Netflix. Everyone on TV these days gets killed with a gun. Dirt bikes, $500. Conan. So these are the other ruling elite, and they're like, this is gonna go really bad. This is a bad idea. Here Toothmes shows up with Muro because he needs to have an alibi while Conan and Diana are murdered by the monster. The executioner moves toward the guy at the stake and starts to torture him, and Conan's like, I am not watching this. He tells his other Mungo, you're in charge. I don't know if you guys remember the band Mungo Jerry. They have this song In the Summertime, which I think could be awesome for a racing game. I want to include it in our racing game when we get to make it. But that's a funny name. So Conan gets to where he's staying and hears a scream from inside, dashes in with his sword. This is a great, is she going to be dead when we turn the page? This is one of the best page turns I've seen in quite a while. Because I wanted to know, and it says continued after second page. But last time I skipped, I missed some ads, and some of these ads are kind of worth seeing. Just to see the old, 70s and 80s stuff. Seeing Spider-Man's eyes and mouth, it's kind of gross. It's very scary. So the pig is coming out of the swirling mists. Look at that half page right there. I love these 4 and 5 panel pages. Maybe I'm like a retard that I like this handicapped style art, but it's a werepig fighting Conan. I saw something the other day where a bunch of cows had their hides shampooed and brushed out, and they were all fluffy. They looked like big teddy bear cows. It was hilarious. I imagine pigs are similar once they go feral. Anyhow, Conan has got his work cut out for him. It's about to get the girl, and so this girl is in the darkness. I was wondering who that guy is lying on the floor, and it's the maidservant. It's a female, and Conan trips over her. He would have totally gotten the werepig in time, but he trips over this girl and eats it. The pig attacks him instead. They roll around and have to wrestle, do some jujitsu. Star Wars ads. This has remote control. Goes forward and back. And Conan, what does he do? He does some move. Oh, this is good. It's always good where he's holding the jaws open. Those are great. That's a great shot. You get a lot of the same stuff when he's fighting snakes. He'll be holding the snake head way back, and the body's all coiled around him and everything. This is just, the colors. I wish we'd have gotten more of this sort of colors, but whatever. Here he gets a headlock, and he's screaming to her, "Get me my sword," but she's frozen. She sees him reaching for it. She pushes it to him, and he gets him in the ribs. And that's all you need to see. We don't get the sword coming out the back. There's not a whole bunch of blood. Believe me, in my comics, there will be blood. There will be blood. Rom the Space Knight. I suppose doing these videos takes me away from making comics a little bit. It's all right. I'm getting my stuff done. Conan and the monster fighting again. My goal is 6 issues. My goal is 6 issues, 6 solid issues of not standalone stories, but connected stories that are good on their own. And then 3 zines before and 3 zines after with ads and sequential art inside. So 12 issues. I want to get 12 issues done in my life. That's all I need. To sell the toys and sell my novels and sell audiobooks. The monster is limping away, and video games. Video games are going to be the best. That's going to be what it all leads to. So the monster is not dead. Conan caught him in the neck. He's wounded, but he's not dead. He's leaving a blood trail. Conan leaves Diana and goes after the monster. Right? Rom the Space Knight. That's a great ad right there. Bill Mantlo and Sal Buscema. I read a bit of Rom. It's a good book. They sort of gave a lot of his story to Captain Marvel, Brie Larson's movie, where she's killing people who are pretending to be humans and they're actually Kree. That's what Rom was doing. So when she fights that old lady on the bus, that's right out of Rom Space Knight. In the square, the demon arrives wounded, and everyone starts talking. These people all know about black magic. It's not forbidden down there. They're not Christians. These are all pagan, heathen, cannibal savages. And when the demon wanders into the midst, they all recognize him and see that he's been wounded. And they all say, he's going to his master. He's kneeling at his master's feet. Moreau did this. He's the one who's been plaguing us with this demon for years. Kill him. Kill him. And they do. Then this guy was the guy who ginned up the crowd against the queen earlier. He'd been missing, but now he's back as Conan arrives in the square. And he says, don't just go after the servant, get his master. So Tuthmes, murder his master. And they do. They rip him to shreds. Conan's like, these people are mad. I ain't having this. He's trying to get to the queen to rescue her, but the queen's own guardsmen, she's telling them to protect her. And after decades of enslavement and exploitation, one of the guards drills her with his spear. So Conan is out of a job. The only thing he can do now is protect Diana. He would have protected the queen because that's who he is. And this says so on the next page. After Mr. Fantastic saves some Twinkies. So Conan's like, well, that tears it. He heads back, grabs Diana, and he says, and grab that loaf of bread. And she's got a loaf of bread. And they escape with a loaf of bread, and it starts to rain. And they don't mention the loaf of bread again. But he's got the girl. And she doesn't want to go back to Numidia. She wants to stay with him. The next one is Man-Eaters of Darfar. And it looks like Diana is still with Conan. She's still wearing the red dress. Although this time it's a red dress and not a red bikini. Here it's a red bikini. Here it's a red two-piece, I believe. She's got a red skirt and a red top, and they're separated, I want to say. We had that whole big one page of Diana where Conan rescues her, right here. Yeah, that's a two-piece outfit. But, so she puts on some clothes, and she gets a new hairstyle. tomorrow. Conan the Barbarian 108. Hey guys, I am John Carrick, author of Legacy of a Mad Scientist and The Legend of Ashley Fox. This one is about Dr. Andrew Fox, who develops a way to detonate the anti-gravity liquid metal that powers the infrastructure of his entire civilization. They have floating cities and cars, and he figures out how to turn this into an explosive and blow it up with a thought. Do it by compressing it. It implodes. You have to feed it a self-compacting fractal equation, and it causes it to explode. And when he comes up with that, since he can communicate with this metal telepathically, essentially, because he knows how to write it, he knows how to turn it into a thinking AI with his mind. He can send it commands to cause it to reformat itself. Now, he did this first with a mechanical piece. That mechanical piece became artificially intelligent and helped him rewrite itself. And now he can detonate metal. And so the government decides that he is a threat to society, because if he is just one bad day or one nightmare away from nuking an entire city. And the metal would, of course, become chain reactive, so you get enough of it in a small area and the whole thing would go off. So in that one, the government aligns itself against him, and his family pays the price. That's the Legacy of a Mad Scientist. And in this one, The Legend of Ashley Fox, his daughter is now a few years older, and she and her brother are assigned to a juvenile detention facility in Angel City. And at that detention facility, a group of serial killers are preying on the children. And it wasn't just an accident that they were sent there. Actually, Dr. Fox's arch rival is using that orphanage as a cover for his brand of evil experiments and whatnot. And Dr. Fox very manipulatively sends his children there to rescue the other kids. So that's what's going on with those two stories. This today was Conan 107, and it was good. I liked it. This is really good. My newest story gets even better with Ashley and her brother. Today's World Fantasy Tarot card was the Witch, the Ginger Witch. And we have a conflicted card. Gordon here has a problem. He's been captured and he's being held with his sons in a very severe high lockdown facility with armed guards. But he thinks he knows of a way to escape. And how would you go about formulating a plan to escape? Well, his plan to escape has to involve murder. It has to involve seizing of weapons, and it has to involve empowering other prisoners. That was one of the first Conan stories, one of the first Conan stories to win a whole bunch of awards. Back when Barry Smith was still drawing, I think it won an Eisner, or it was nominated for one. And it's actually one of the issues I have, and it's a story too. It's a short story, I believe, where Conan's captured and inspires a bunch of much bigger, more dangerous sorts of prisoners to help him in a prison break. And it's one of the better ones. So, yeah, that's what you have to do. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.